slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior.
Yep, I'm done. I literally cannot do this anymore. And you know what? I'm just jumping the kata. I don't have enough time anyways. So I guess it's on the ringing then. I have been playing Jukes Towers of Hell for many years. And over that time, I've learned some extremely important things. Number 1, jump to progress faster, which is exactly what I've done here, dropping Uncanny Agony to attempt Generation Failure. Number 2, you need motivation, which here I derived most of mine from streaming my grinds on towers, and of course, setting my deadline for the win at January 1st of 2025. But the most important thing I learned was to never give up, ever. By far, this was my most extensive grind yet, taking, as you saw, just about 3,000 minutes or 50 hours, which is a lot for my tiny brain to handle. But I crammed those 3,000 minutes into very few days, basically translating that I need to touch grass. But all wasn't lost, because my winter break could actually be worth it if I managed to beat it in time. So I did runs as much as possible, meaning that it would hopefully pay off. Of course though, I have to explain and give some basic information about generation failure before I start commentating on my experience. So here we go. Bottom low, Catastrophic and Ring by Theodoric with a very long warning and the first Catastrophic tower ever beaten. Did you also know it was originally meant to be remorseless? That gives Elite Obvious an excuse to call it high rem. Don't worry, I'm not one of them, right? Okay, let me chill out. It's time to actually get into this grind. As always, a good grind begins with learning and mastering the tower, so let's get into it. I started off by taking a solid couple minutes to get into the tower, and then proceeded to all jump it. As normal, I took about an hour to finish the all jump, which was actually pretty good since the tower is 30 minutes long. But the runs of the floors sucked. It quite literally took me an hour to pass the first floor, and that slightly scared me for the grind, but I was still ready. The second floor though, only took 20 minutes to do, bringing that hope back. And I know that it seems bad that it took that long, but by the time you beat a floor, your consistency on it is good enough to pass it in a couple attempts in a real run. Anyways, by the end of the stream, I managed to also conquer floor 3, but quit after trying to beat 4, because I didn't think I would make it there in the first day of attempts. Now that I've adequately practiced the first portion of the tower, I reckon I would do some runs to get the first couple floors down, and then practice the other floors later. Before I did that though, I quickly finished getting floor 4 down, and then proceeded to start my runs. To my surprise, I quickly jumped my way to floor 2, and learn my major choke points on the first floor. This kill brick spinner section, and this conveyor jump. Floor 2 is rather forgiving at the beginning, starting off with 2 safety nets that cover many jumps. The second net here contains the speedrun section that can be particularly difficult if you have bad luck. After a couple attempts though, I passed it and made it onto one of the hardest sections of the floor. You can potentially get RNG'd here on the stick out on the spear, but if you pass that, you have 2 more difficult jumps before 3. I thankfully landed the first jump and now had 1 more to go. I actually passed it and practically had a free pass to 3. But could I actually get there? Nope. I unfortunately failed to latch on this ladder, though later down the line I would get a consistent strategy for it. I then proceeded to fail a hard jump of the floor, and I didn't know if I would make it back. Surprisingly, I made it back to floor 2, and on my second attempt, I had yet another shot at the jump I failed. This time I passed it, and somehow made it to 3. I then passed everything and made it to the partial net. Unfortunately though, I would fail the pink button, but I had a shot to get back. And somehow I didn't notice the button progress I had and then failed the floor 2. After some loop failing, I managed to claw my way back to 3, and this time, I could try the outside, the only thing holding me from 4. Would I do it? And no, I failed the outside, and I wouldn't make it back for the rest of the stream. Welcome to the second day of runs on TOGF, where I hope to make it past 3 outside. Obviously, I began the stream by rushing over 3 outside in floor 4, and I started to develop strategies for them. After I felt I was ready, I went into real runs with high hopes of making progress. Quite quickly, I surpassed floors 1 and 2 and got the button progress on 3. This time, I actually passed the pink section, but I fell to 1 on this particular jump. Thankfully, I quickly got back to 3 and used my button progress to my advantage, which led me back to the outside. Now let's see if I can pass my personal best. My practice had paid off, and the rest of floor 3's outside was free. As expected, I made my way past the outside and on 4. The first section of this floor is a boring loop fill net, so nothing was interesting until I got to the inside. 4 begins with this button section, which I swiftly passed, since it's most likely one of the easiest sections of the floor. I then had to pass this GBJ. If you didn't know, GBJs are spots and towers that end your run if you fall into them. So basically an outside section inside the tower. To my surprise, I passed it, and now had 1 more difficult jump before left. I had passed it on my first try. I was actually going to make it to 5. Oh wait, no. I failed the easy section before 5. Then, I proceeded to fail to 3, and then the outside. I did make it to 4 after, but I fell into the GBJ, ending my consistency for the day. Of course, there will be days in your grind where you won't make any progress, but don't let that end your motivation. Since these days were uninteresting, I'll quickly gloss over them. On day 3, I found out that I was sick, which of course made me less motivated. I got the floor, but I had this goofy fail attempting to latch onto this ladder. And with only an hour, you only are going to get so much progress in the tower. After that, I had even worse luck, getting banned from Roblox for the stupid reason. As soon as I got unbanned though, I headed back and grinded for 3 hours on day 4, but to no avail. Actually, I didn't even get a 4 run, failing 3 outside countless times. By the end, I felt demotivated, and I didn't even know if I was going to finish the grind in time. Day 4 was the final day I would not make any progress, and I knew it. I began the day with an hour of practice and high hopes. I made it to floor 3's outside, and this time I passed it. This was one of my only chances to make progress. Of course, I did something called losing the cylinder lottery, where I did the exact same timing, but didn't get any momentum. I would eventually get back to 3 outside, and there I unfortunately failed. To my surprise, I quickly made it back to 4, bringing my personal best to 4x7. No RNG this time. I passed the 2-stud stick out and the difficult wraparounds after. Then I actually passed the GBJ and had yet another shot at 5. Once again, I somehow landed the hardest jump of 4, but would I actually pass the floor? Oh, I guess I didn't. Yet another horrific fail that ruined my day. There's no way I'm passing it now.
Yo, what are you doing? How did you do it again? Oh my god, you're about to pass 4.
Okay. I had some crazy luck there, which I guess made up for my bad luck on floor 4. By the way, floor 5 is practically free besides the GBJ, so if I pass that, it was on to 6. So is my good luck going to continue here, or is it a short-lived victory? Yeah, there was no way I was going to fail that. I did not want this run to go to waste. But now, after some filler gameplay, it's time for the hardest floor of the tower. Welcome to floor 6. Minutes of pure hellish gameplay that's sure to make any Tower of Hell player permanently quit obbies. Now that I knew getting to 6 was possible, the next step would be beating it. On the first part of 4, you can't actually lose progress, unless you fail one of the easy unnetted jumps. After a bit of loop fail, I made it to the partial net, and the only thing standing between me and the outside was a couple obstacles. Thankfully, I quickly passed it, and now had a shot at the outside. This is one of the hardest sections of the floor, and I happened to pass it the first try. The only other parts that could make me lose progress are a jump over a GBJ, which I passed, and the second outside. If I did this, I could actually make it to 7 first try. Is this going to be the run? Unfortunately for me, I got RNG'd and sent to floor 1. Not to anyone's surprise, I didn't make it back, and one of my best days on the grind ended. Yet another period in the grind had me restricted with making progress, and this time it was floor 4 that bottlenecked me. In these 2 days, I most likely had over 20 floor 4 runs, and even a floor 5 run where I failed the first jump. It wouldn't be until the next day where I made any progress. Time was beginning to run out, and now was the time to make some progress. In just 15 minutes, I made it back to 4 inside, and finally back to 5. I once again did the GBJ, got all the buttons, and passed the 6. I was nearing my personal best now, but it would not be easy to pass it. Some way, somehow, I passed the outside yet again, and I now had a real chance to pass my personal best. It was back to the second outside. Using my different strategy for the jump I failed last, I got to the low roof section of the floor. This section is the last difficult thing that prevents you to the red floors, and it's not easy to pass. Was today my day? Once again, the practice paid off, and floor 7 was a possibility. The only difficult obstacle now was the four stud stick out. I had failed it. But there was no reason to be sad, as I saved on 5, and floor 7 was in sight. Once again, I did loop fail, including failing 6 first outside, but I managed to get all the way back to the stick out for the second time. I passed it. Floor 7 was actually inevitable now, but a repeat of 4 could still happen. By some miracle, I passed floor 6 extremely quickly, and floor 7 was another free floor. Since this was a boring hour, I'll just show you a quick compilation of what happened. Floor 8. After all these days, I somehow made it all the way here. This is the start of the GBJ span, and floor 8 is practically covered in one. After some more boring loop fail on the spinner, I made it to the GBJ. This can make or break the run. So close, yet so far. My first major fail. This didn't demotivate me though, it actually did the opposite, and I was feeling optimistic as ever for the future of the grind. The next 2 days were once again a dry spell for me. On day 9, I actually managed to easily pass 4, and I got back to 6. From there, I once again got to 7. Free 8, right? Nope. I failed the pink section, and after that, I failed the GBJ jump on 6. Day 10 was even worse. After 3 hours of straight grinding, all I managed was a floor 6 run, which didn't get anywhere anyway. If I don't beat this tower now, there was no way that I could reach my goal. Yet another day on the grind, and time was running short. All I had for my progress was floor 8, and things were not looking good. Thankfully for me, by the 30-minute mark I was at floor 6, and by the 40-minute mark I was back to 7. This time, I actually passed the button challenges, and it was my second attempt at floor 8. I passed the first elevator section, but would I pass my PB yet again? I did it. The rest of floor 8 was effortless, and I could attempt 9. The nerves began kicking in, and it is now my shot at the most infamous section of the entire tower. Yet again, a miracle happened, and I passed the outside. There was still an inside, though. After some fails on the net, it was my turn to attempt the GBJ. The hardest section had been passed. The only thing now to do was complete the wedge wrap and get the button to unlock 10. Oh my god, I did everything, but I failed the final jump of 9. I need to make it back, right now. Thankfully, I got back. But now that I was here again, I needed to pass the final jump. This was an extraordinary run. I somehow passed everything in my way. The final floor was here. Only a few jumps stood between me and victory. It was now time.
Okay, catastrophic! What the?
After hours and hours of suffering, I'd beat my worst grind yet. Now it's time to finally take a break from JToH.
Wow, okay. You actually did catastrophic. Congrats. And you thought that was bad? Well, let me introduce you to your biggest challenge yet.
Oh, hell no!